All right, ready? Three, two, one. What's up, friends and foes? Welcome to Let's Get Nerdy. My name is Corey, and today I'm very excited to be speaking to you because today we saw the release of the first trailer for Lanterns, the upcoming Green Lantern show with the most frustrating name because every time I say Lanterns, I just want to say Green Lantern, so I kind of wish they had just called it Green Lanterns, but the show's called Lanterns. I'm very excited from it. I'm very excited for it. I apologize, stumbling over my words. Yeah, I love Green Lantern. If you don't know, when I first started reading comic books, it was in the mid to late 2000s, so right in the middle of Jeff Johns' iconic run from Rebirth to Blackest Night. The library that I would get my comics from, would just happen to have every single graphic novel in that run. So I became a huge fan. It was a very that run had a big impact on me. I understand Jeff Johns is not everybody's favorite writer, and that's okay. He's not necessarily mine either, but just that specific run when we're talking about Rebirth to Blackest Night, just hit me at the right age. And it gave me a lifelong love for Green Lantern. And so when this series was announced, which feels like 10 years ago, and it kind of seems like there was several iterations of like this might have been a movie, then it became a show, and then the show was scheduled for 2020 and never came out. And it just felt like the perpetual can that kept getting kicked down the road, and us Green Lantern fans were never going to get the justice we deserve after the Ryan Reynolds movie from 2011, which, fun fact, I've actually never seen because I've never seen it, probably don't want to watch it, and that's perfectly fine. The series we're excited for, I was excited for. With the announcement that Kyle Chandler was going to be playing an older, more veteran Hal Jordan, with Aaron Pierre as John Stewart, the moment I watched Rebel Ridge, I knew he was the right choice, and that this was going to be the more grounded, more so based off of the Neil Adams, Denny O'Neil run from the 70s, which is a run that had a huge impact on me. I believe I already said that. I apologize. And then furthermore, learning that Tom King was one of the writers on this, Tom King is probably my favorite comic book writer right now going. His Mr. Miracle run is probably my favorite graphic novel in the last 10 years. I love his work on Wonder Woman right now, and obviously Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Fantastic run there. The dude just knows how to write comic books, especially comic books that appeal to me. And so, yeah, everything about this show is like, speaking to me as a Green Lantern fan, as a DC fan, and I'm super, super excited. I have not watched the trailer yet, so I'm going to pull it up here in just a moment, give you my fresh reaction, and give you my initial thoughts once it's done. So, all right, so now I have the trailer pulled up in front of me, headphones on. I'm going to go ahead and start it in 3, 2, 1.
With all due respect, we've been training for what, 2 months? And I haven't even worn the ring yet.
Don't get hung up on the jewelry, Junior. You're just a fucking substitute teacher. You're not ready to get up in front of the class until the ring says you are.
All right.
I could have died.
You want me to train you? I'm training you. Something is off here. I can feel it.
This is my town. You're a big shot. Noted. But stay the fuck out of my way.
Think she hates your guts.
It's the way she hates them.
This is a stupid plan.
Not that stupid.
That I don't doubt. The Green Lantern's oath is to protect people.
Okay, this looks
We
cool.
both know I do a better job of this than you.
This is my job. As long as I'm alive, that ain't changing. So take a deep breath, Junior.
You're old. You're tired.
exactly? Hal Jordan, Green Lantern.
Okay, August.
Have you ever
Okay.
talked with the other lanterns?
I'm the only human. They're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
Okay. So immediate thoughts. Obviously, there's nothing. I think jaw dropping or no mind blowing reveals. Let me say that right off the bat about this. It looks very good. Having Hal Jordan curse right off the bat did get a giggle out of me. You probably saw. The one glimpse of the Green Lantern uniform we saw, it looked like a cool uniform. It not being a construct, I might bump into. I might have to see how they handle that. Also, the idea of Jon Stewart not having the ring is an interesting play on it. I really want to see how that is working, because obviously in the comic books the ring selects you and then you go train. It seemingly is much different in this series. Yeah, and it definitely seems like, yeah, they are going full detective mode. Hal Jordan's walking, road tripping through the country style of Green Lantern story, which historically has been some of the better Green Lantern stories, I will admit. And yeah, I don't know if I have really anything super mind-blowing to say. There's nothing, again, no huge reveals that are surprising to me. It definitely also seems to kind of harken back a little bit to Green Lantern's Secret Origin, or even I would actually probably say Emerald Dawn from the late 80s, with Hal Jordan and Sinestro. I kind of wonder if we get any kind of glimpse of those kind of relationships for Hal Jordan, of the relationships that formed him as a Green Lantern. Sinestro, obviously Kilowog. Just seeing how much of that lore we get, and then, when are the, how do I say, like, the moments of the actual suit up and getting to see Green Lantern action. We got really seemingly no glimpse of that, so this might be an action light show, which I'm fine with. If it, obviously if the rest of it is good, And with that, instead of continuing my incoherent, aimless rambles of an initial reaction, I figured I would take a minute, kind of watch the trailer itself a couple more times, and give some more maybe collected thoughts before I log off here, if that's the term I want to use, which I guess it is. First off, number one, I do want to praise something that I didn't give credit to on the first watch through, is the personalities. They seem to have nailed both Kyle Rayner, Hal Jordan, and Jon Stewart. There is definitely seem to be the dry, kind of assholey wit of Hal Jordan there, with you're not even a fucking teacher, you're just a substitute. I think that's the quote. Definitely classic Hal Jordan, right? The putting the ring, I believe it's his ring, on the dashboard and jumping out of the car, definitely falls in line with the Hal Jordan that leaves his ring every time he gets in a jet to fly. So that is awesome to see right away. The fact that, and then Jon Stewart, we kind of get the more measured arrogance of Jon Stewart, harkening back to, his first appearance. So in the trailer, he does say, something along the lines of like, hey, the Corps is about saving people, and let's face it, I'm better at this than you are. Definitely in line with, when he first joins the Corps, and is, fairly arrogant, to say the least, and has some quite humbling experiences. And with that, something that occurred to me maybe on the second or third watch there, is I wonder how much they're pulling from that first Jon Stewart appearance, and like the terms of the idea of like he and Hal Jordan having to protect a racist politician. That thought occurred to me kind of when they were walking into like City Hall, or like the city council meeting or whatever, and dealing kind of with the local sheriffs and stuff like that. There's nothing else in the trailer that leads me to believe that they're going to do that story or anything like that, but it just occurred to me kind of like, I'm like, I wonder if they're pulling from that at all. And that'd be I guess, interesting to see or cool to see if they do that. I'm interested to see exactly what they pull from Green Lantern lore, because again, there's really no, to my knowledge, inclination of who the villain is. We get Tony Shalhoub, who appears to be bald, so monkheads, drop down in the comments if you're excited to see more Shalhoub, Shalhoubing it up on screen. He's bald, and historically in DC, that means you are a bad guy. I actually cannot think off the top of my head a good bald guy in DC. Obviously, Marvel's got Professor X. I don't know if DC has a good bald guy. I don't know why I'm thinking about that right now, but I can't think of a good bald guy from DC. Drop down in the comments if you know a good guy who's also bald in DC. I'm sure I'll think of one as soon as I log off of here. I don't know why I keep saying log off. This isn't fucking that. What? Anyways, this isn't an AOL chat room, alright? Yeah. What was I talking about? Yeah, the fucking bad guy. I don't know who the bad guy is yet, because I don't, to my knowledge, like, there is a Hector Hammond looking dude towards the end that seems to be in the interrogation room. There's no other inclination that he's Hector Hammond than he kind of just looks like Hector Hammond before his head gets big, to me. So that could be, if he's the villain, that could be cool. Other than that, any other Green Lantern foe I think of as a little bit more still intergalactic base. Like, you could probably do Sinestro, but if they were doing Sinestro, I'm sure they would have announced it and the casting would have been pretty significant. But again, this seems to definitely be pulling mostly from the old Denny O'Neil and Neil Adams run, in addition to, I would even say, a bit of probably Emerald Dawn, that run as well. And I'm really just excited. I'm excited that we are getting an actual just Green Lantern adaptation all these years later, Obviously, the 2011 one did what it did, but other than that, we've had very little representation of the Green Lantern outside of comic books, and this show itself has kind of just been just different forms of a weird rumor, and the fact that we just know we're getting it in August especially is really cool. At this point, there's not a lot more that I think I can say about it, other than I'm really excited. I'm really excited to keep talking about it. If there's any more trailers or anything like that, I will definitely react to them. And then when the show comes out, I will definitely post as many reactions as I can for it, just because I'm very, very excited. I love Green Lantern. I love Green Lantern things. Hopefully this leads to us getting more Green Lanterns, like, not just Kilowog and not just Sarlacc, not just the Guardians, but, let's get some Kyle Rayner love in the chat. You know what I mean? Like, I know James Gunn has not said the most positive things about James Gunn, James Gunn has not said the most positive things about Kyle Rayner, on like recent podcasts and stuff. But like, that's an old head take, James Gunn. Come on, Hal Jordan's cool, Jon Stewart's cool, Guy Gardner's cool, Kyle Rayner's cool. Come on, let's get a little bit of Kyle Rayner in the chat. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's about everything. If there's anything, comment down below if you're excited for this. Comment down below if you think you have an idea of who the villain could be in the series. Actually, one last thing I did want to mention is there definitely seems to be a lot more of an otherworldly element than I maybe initially had anticipated, right? You get the clips of, some kind of like meteor or ship impact or something like that, I believe cuts through like a motel sign, it seems, or that might be multiple, and you get the clip of Hal Jordan in front of a burning building, so you might get multiple clips, or you might, that's everything I got. So comment down below what you think about the trailer. Comment down below what villains you think we're getting and what you think the general plot is going to be, and for now I just got to get back to nerding out about Green Lantern. Thank you.